What's good, bro? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, man. How's everything going? How you doing?
Everything's good. Had a quick nap before the game started, and then
Oh,
came in here and I should have just stayed asleep because the Jazz, boy, they sleep. If they, I can sleep.
they're they're playing the Lions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
getting whooped up on. They just before we started, they just missed a field goal. So I'm like that's why I don't even care now. I just turn it
that's
on because I'm still a fan, but I kind of just feel like this season already is a wash.
yeah, man. That's a tough feeling, man. Like
Yeah,
I hate like when you're wanting to root for your team and you wanting to like hold them down, man. But they giving you every reason in the book to like be like, no, don't vote, no, don't cheer for me, don't cheer for us. I was I'll say it now because we did win last night, but I'm a Seminole fan, Florida State, and we be getting whooped left and right all year. So we playing in Carolina last night, UNC,
hmm
and we have 31-7, and I'm not even like excited. I'm sitting here like, man, we finna get this game away. Sure enough, uh, they they damn near beat us. It's 31-28 was the final score,
Ooh.
but they we didn't score in the second half. Second half we didn't score, and just man,
I don't even follow college football because I like the MEAC conference, and they don't
yeah, yeah.
have them on TV, so I have to just pretty much follow them through like their Facebook page and stuff like.
Right.
Cause I went to Bethune Cookman, and that's who I grew up watching. So that's what I like. I tried to like watch other college teams and stuff, but I just have a hard time getting into it. I don't ask me why. I don't know. Like I just had a hard time following. And growing up right there in Jacksonville, it was always around. Between FSU and UF, and we had to deal with the whole Georgia Florida game every year and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's like
Yeah,
I
man.
never got into it. But it could be for me because at the time I was in the band and I was all about the bands. So
Right.
so
You wasn't thinking about like Florida State. You was probably thinking like FAM and BCC.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
I feel
that's
that.
so that's what I was always into. I mean, granted, being in the band and then just over what was at Forest and
Right.
watching the game. Yeah, I was into the game, but that's because that was my school, and I was in the band. That's where I played. So,
Right. Right. Right.
but now it's just okay. I don't. I'll look at the players' highlights and stuff once they're up in the draft and who we could be possibly taking in the draft. I'll pay attention then, but I don't really pay attention like while they're in college. So.
Yeah, I mean, what I do like about college, the games are there's a little bit there's a well not a little bit there's less room for error. So like if you're a team that is kind of in the mix for like a national championship,
hmm
you know, two losses and that dream is all but gone. NFL you could be 10-6 and get in the playoffs, and you could run the gauntlet.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is get in, which does make the NFL exciting from that aspect of it. But they're just so small of a margin for error in college. A game or two in the loss column, and you'll be at one of them lesser bowls. If you're a team that's like a national championship contender, I think. But teach his own.
Yeah.
Teach his own.
I really think it's because I didn't grow up watching it, and it wasn't in our house. Like we didn't watch it in our house. It was
Right,
like I said, we when I was living in Daytona, we was over at Cookman because Cookman was around the corner from us.
right, right, right.
And then I kind of just like when I moved to Jacksonville, it was just kind of the same. I just um, we didn't watch. My dad was in this basketball. My dad played basketball, so I don't know. I just didn't watch it. And then We used to have we watched football. Um, we had I used to have like Super Bowl parties and stuff
Right.
throughout high school. So, but it is. It is.
I feel you. I feel you.
So today, bro, we're gonna talk about the power of words and how can they affect not only fitness but just our daily lives, how we deal with it when it comes to um, training, when it comes to just our overall like motivation, staying disciplined, how we view ourselves, how we see ourselves. So I kind of just want to get your take on, you know, how do you use, oh, what's the, how do you, what kind of phrases, what words do you use when you're training your clients, when you're trying to motivate somebody or remotivate? Because I know we was going over motivation
Right.
last week and stuff, but we wanted to get, further into, how we encourage and type of words we use when we're, and even words that we will say to ourselves,
Right. So yeah, we had a good talk yesterday, just trying to set up for today's episode. And before I get into some of the phrases that I use, I just kind of want to lay some of the groundwork as far as like the importance of like the power of words. So in the fitness space, I definitely think it's important to have when you have goals, you want to have the confidence and belief that you'll be able to achieve them.
right,
And if you don't believe that you can do it, you're already kind of, you know, walking in quicksand, so to speak, and there's a place in your head that, of course, everything in my view, everything starts with a mentality.
mm-hmm.
And, the words that you speak are connected to that mentality, in my opinion. So like if you are someone who is using particular words that kind of like self-degrading words or things that are like you're putting yourself down, and there's weight behind that.
Right,
If you don't think that you're uh, capable of doing something, you more than likely won't be able to do it because you've already made it. You've already made that your reality, that you believe that that's just not possible. So that's to me, that's the most important thing. If your mind is not right, your body definitely won't follow. So when I'm even like whether I'm training people or if I'm working out by myself, I try to use words that uplift you, words that can give you power. Something like even if the weight was heavy, something like light work, easy work, just something that keeps you, in that frame of mind to where like, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stand in your way. So, let's say I'm working with a client, right? And for me, again, it's all about where's their head at, where's their brain at. So I'll have them to do something like I kind of gauge, where their mind is at by showing them something that is a little bit more challenging than what they may expect,
mm-hmm.
just to see how they'll approach it. Right. So part of that is, just to see, okay, let me see what they're thinking about when they see this. So I may pull out like a Bosu ball. I'll start doing like maybe planks on the Bosu ball or something like Bosu ball burpees. That's just an example.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to kind of see like, so they'll use a phrase. I'll just use some of the ones I've heard a lot. Uh, wow, you make it seem so easy. So what I would say to them, I was like, well, with enough practice, it could be easy for you as well. So with enough practice, so that's just something that puts in their head that I'm giving them the idea that you can do it, and just giving them also what's required to do that. So I tell you, with enough practice, which is true,
Right,
you know, this could be easy for you as well, which it could. And that's something that gives them something to look upon as like possibly a challenge, but something that's again just another level of encouragement.
mm-hmm.
So if they flat out say, I can't do that. Oh, hell no, I can't do that. I would say to them, how do you know? How do you know you can't do it? Have you tried to do it? Have you even tried? No, I haven't tried. Okay, well, try it. But I can't do it. We don't know. Try it. So they physically try it. And let's say they can't do it. So what I would say in that situation, I would say, just like I said before, just need some practice. Just this is your first time because you haven't done it before. So this is your first time doing it. So right now, it just means you need some more practice. Just like last week, I talked about the parallel with musicians when we talked about just having being unmotivated. It's the same thing with musicians in practice. You know, no one wakes up and learns. No one just wakes up and knows how to play the piano.
Correct.
It takes practice. Mm-hmm. You have to learn. You have to take time with the piano. You have to take time to learn different chords, learn different progressions. Maybe, you know, reading music. That takes time, and that takes, you know, commitment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all the same, man. It's all, you know, it sounds like we're beating a dead horse, but it really is, you know, it's not that complicated. I think we try to overcomplicate things. And to me, it just boils down to, you know, like I said, keeping your mind in a frame of, you know, it can be done. I just need to practice.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you know, so then I say something to like, you know, I'll say one more thing. When someone says I can't, I would say, okay, well, instead of saying I can't, let me try. Let me try. We'll see. You know, just something that, again, you have to, you know, the being great is not really about, well, it is about the results, but the results come from the effort. If the effort is great, then by you know, lieu of the repetition, the results will then become great. So, you know, it's all about, you know, I mean, look at sports. Everyone doesn't win a title. Everyone doesn't win a championship. But, you know, if you're all trying your best, you live with the results. That's what everyone says. Everyone says, hey, you know, we left it all on the floor and we live with the results. So it's the same thing.
Man, I gotta adopt that. I gotta adopt that phrase because, you know, when I'm trying to motivate someone, when I get those words back, I don't know. When I don't really know if I could do that, or I'm tight, because I kid you not, I actually hear those words all the time about, I know you do too, but I definitely hear it when I'm like, just in normal conversation, for some reason or another, whenever I'm talking to somebody, we could be talking about something, I don't know, just we could be talking about work or something, or talking about how they're doing.
Right.
That conversation will always switch over to their wellness, or what they're doing to reach their goals, or what are they doing to get themselves back on the right path. But and they always say I can't, like, because I'm always inviting people to my virtual workouts, especially those who don't feel like they're disciplined enough to do it on their own. I've even had people who ask me to personally train them, but it's outside of my it for me. It's going to take even more, you know, for me to flex my schedule, because my schedule is not. It's kind of fluid right now. It's my schedule. Right. It changes on a week to week, you know, right, depending on what I got going at work. So not all it's nothing that I can commit to, and I feel like I will be doing that individual a disservice for my own inconsistencies. So right. I try to invite them to the virtual workouts that I have, because those are always on schedule, and those are always going. Same time, those, you know, the days that I host them. But I deal with when I'm trying to invite someone, they're telling me, I don't know, it ain't gonna do me any good. I need to be in a gym, or I need to, and I'm like, yo, you already, here it is, you have an issue, you have a problem, or you have a goal that you're not working towards, or you're not motivated. Here, you're telling yourself and you're constantly repeating over and over, I can't do that, or I don't feel like doing that, or that's not how I want to do it, or it does. I don't think that's going to work for me.
Yeah.
Already made up in your mind. You've already said it's not going to happen. You've already said that it's it's not doable.
Right.
Right.
And like that's also like putting obstacles in your way. Like, with everything that's happened in the pandemic and, gyms being closed and things of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
there's a line in this movie called the movie's Hotel Artemis, and Sterling K. Brown, he's one of the actors in the movie, and he
Mm-hmm.
has a phrase in the movie. He says, "You work with what you got, not what you hope for."
Yeah.
So, and I stole that the second I heard it, because to me it's like when I'll give a quick little story about me and when I finally decided to branch out and start doing training full time.
Mm-hmm.
And the short version of the story is I spent a lot of time. Well, let me rephrase that. I wasted a lot of time waiting for what I thought would be a perfect situation to transition and to do personal training full time. I probably wasted a year and a half of time waiting for what I thought would be the ideal time,
Mm-hmm.
waiting for the dominoes to fall just in the right place. And I had enough things that were right in hindsight, realizing that sometimes you just have to, you got to do what you got to do, man. You got to, you know, you got lemons, you got to make lemonade.
Right.
Sometimes too, the power of the words of negative self-talk, it'll keep you at the starting line. You'll never even get in the race.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And things like, I need to be, and this is kind of how at least in my opinion, how serious, I guess I'll say, someone really is. Because someone, all right, so let's say for example, all right, I can't do the Zoom thing. I need to go to a physical gym. I say, okay, well, go to the gym. Well, I don't want to go to the gym right now because of COVID. Okay, understandable. Work it at home. Well, I don't feel right working out at home. Well, look, this is what you got. These options you got. You mean, so it's like, come on, you out here making all these excuses. Like, enough is enough. Like, you're constantly telling yourself that, okay, this is not an ideal situation.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather do this. Okay, I'll say, okay, we'll do that. Well, that's not ideal for me either. Okay, we'll do that. Well, that's not ideal. Okay, well, you gotta pick something. You can't just sit there and sit in place. You gotta make a decision. So, part of that too is people give themselves reasons to not do something, and then they'll say, well, with the pandemic, and look, I get it. You want to be safe. I'm not telling nobody to go to no gym if they don't feel comfortable. I respect it. You got your body and you got a space in your house. Make it happen.
Right.
Get it done. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's there's the resources, the technology is advanced and it's available. There is so much that can be done if the effort, as you were saying before, the greater the effort, the greater the results. Um, I feel like if people will put forth that effort in there, stop telling themselves what they don't like or what they can't do or what doesn't work for them, and just say, look, this is what I want. Here is where I want to be. What path am I going to take to get there? And if I can't, if that road is unavailable, well, what other roads can I take to get to that destination? Because that bridge across that water might be open, but that tunnel might be good to go. You know what I mean?
right.
Might be
Yep.
a tunnel.
So yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. And then circling back to the scenario I gave in the beginning, or not beginning, but just recently. So when someone gives you what they can't do, I say, okay, what can you do? What are you able to do? Like I would like let me hear that. And that goes into the switching of the power of words. So instead of telling me what you can't do, what are you able to do right now? You feel what I'm saying? And to me, and that's where the rubber meets the road. And you have to really identify. And more often than not, people will kind of just say, you know what, you're right. I could do something. Like you may not be able to do everything that you want in that time frame or in that moment, but there is something that you can be doing.
Yeah.
Something.
I agree.
You
Absolutely.
know, if you can't go to the gym, there's still the nutrition part of it. You still got to eat.
Yeah.
So what can we do in that area? You got since you're not going to the gym, that means you have an extra hour to meal prep. That's what you got now. So instead of an hour that you don't have to work out, you have an extra hour now to meal prep.
Mm-hmm.
Look at there. Look what we got. Something you can do. So that's to me, that's what it's all about, man. You have to shift your thinking from just a simple switch of words, can't to can. There's tremendous power in that. As simple as it sounds, there's a lot that you can do with a can-do attitude.
Yeah.
As opposed to a can't-do attitude. That's just that simple.
Yeah. So what about those who are doing something, and we'll use social media because that's what's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
They posting their pics on or their progress on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say they get 100 positive comments, but then they get that one or two negative comments that they seem to dwell on, and it's bringing their motivation down, bring it down. What would you say to that person?
Well, that's a tough one because unfortunately that is social media a lot of times. People will scroll through comments and they'll have 100, they'll have 99 positive comments and then that one person that has a negative comment, and then they lean and they dwell on that, and that can be the one that sticks with them throughout the day. What I would say to that is once you kind of understand the type of people that leave these types of comments, then it may not affect you as much, right? Number one, most of the time, the person that's leaving a negative comment, they probably have like a little dummy page. They don't even have no pictures on their page,
Mm-hmm.
and you may not know them, and they may be following you. Now, let's say you do know them. Let's say they're a friend. Let's say you actually have a relationship with them, not maybe a great relationship, but you know them, and they have like a little slick backhanded compliment. Like let's say like because let's say like all right, so you have women who do strength training, like resistance training. They're trying to tone up because you gotta do some resistance training to tone up.
Mm-hmm.
And you may have someone who has a comment that says, all right, don't be trying to bulk up now. That's nasty. Don't be trying like that's not even like what she's doing. She's just working out, and
Mm-hmm.
because she's doing a curl and her arms are popping during the curl, she may get a slick comment or something like that. In that situation, again, this person has some internal stuff that they're dealing with, and they're basically probably projecting it on you. You know what I'm saying? Winners like seeing other people win, and losers like seeing other people lose. That's as simple as that. The people who are bigging you up, they're usually in a space where they like I said, when you're up, you want to see other people up. You want to see other people succeed. And if you see that picture of somebody who dropped that 10 pounds, you may send an emoji clap, the clapping emojis, or the muscle emoji, the flex emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, keep grinding, doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? The thing that would make a person go to someone's page of a progress picture of them having progress and leaving a negative comment speaks more to the person that left the comment than it does to you.
I agree.
So that's in reality, that's issues that they have. If I would say, if you're a religious person, probably you need to pray for them.
Yeah.
Because they going through something in their life, or they just miserable. And, you know, instead of thinking that it has something to do with you, that kind of has everything to do with them.
So what do you say? Okay, that's interesting you say that, because now we were talking yesterday, and I was telling you that, you know, in the Navy, and I'm not sure about other branches in the military, but I know in the Navy, um, as fitness leaders, you have some good, you have some bad. Some I've witnessed, you know, fitness leaders when around PRT time, when you always have those individuals who weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, you know, through that cycle period to prepare themselves for that physical readiness.
Uh-huh.
They, eating bad, not doing their 3 times a week um, PT sessions. Just they more times than not, there, if the command even has a PT program, and if it's being pushed, they're either finding a way not to attend, or they're just not there. They're not in attendance like they should be, or if they are in attendance, they're giving minimum effort. They're not putting forth the you know what needs to be done in order to have them ready by the time it's time to take that PRT, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say to a trainer or to someone who's bashing? Now, this person may be the person that's bashing the trainer may be doing everything that they're supposed to be doing. I mean, they for themselves, they're physically ready. They're fit. They have no issues, right? But they're bashing these other people who they're trying. I don't know if it's a form of motivation, or they feel like it's a form of motivation, but they're like going in on them, like, look, calling them all kinds of names, or trying to make it seem like they're weak, or they're like nobodies, they're not good, they're fat, they're this, they're that, or whatever. What do you say to somebody who's like that? Because I've witnessed it, and how do you respond to it?
Well, I've witnessed it as well. Now, disclaimer for the audience: I am not in the military, so I'm just gonna speak from like just I guess seeing some of my peers, like other trainers and other people in the fitness industry who have uh, kind of displayed this type of behavior of just degrading clients or bad mouthing clients or just talking down to them. I think it's just counterproductive. I think the the why behind it, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to help that individual develop mental toughness, mental just basically just being able to, it's basically saying, yo, if you can withstand what I'm giving you, then you'll be able to rise up and overcome anything. So they're using that tactic of basically pressure makes diamonds, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can do in, I think, in a much more efficient manner than degrading an individual. I For me, I find to actually tell a person that they're capable of doing something and giving them that power and giving them that belief that you believe in them, I think actually speaks more to them wanting to try for you. I think a person will try harder for you if they know that you believe in them, or if they feel like you believe in them. If a person feels like, because I think what they're doing is they're trying, the other thing is they're trying to say, they'll build up a level of anger and frustration, and they're going to get sick and tired of me doing it, and then they're going to just burst out of this cocoon and then just start going ham, which I think is dangerous on a lot of levels, because some people succeed from that. Some people do succeed from that, but I think the problem is that because they did it, they feel like that's what everyone needs. And that's what they, so they may carry that into like their personal lives. Like if they have, children or a family, and especially a young boy, and they feel like, oh, I got to be rough on them. I got to be tough. And there's a way to be tough, and there's a way to be just abusive. And there is a line. And to me, I don't think you have to belittle someone to try to get your point across to make them tough.
Yeah, I agree.
You build them up. You build them up through belief in them. You build them up through positive reinforcement. You can, because you could still call someone out. You can still, like, if I know you're capable of doing 15 reps and you give me 10, I'm going to call you out. Not in a demeaning way, but I'm going to call you out almost like a disappointment. Like, why are you cheating yourself? Like, you're not cheating me. Like, why would you, this is kind of what I tell people. Like, if people, like, let's say, for example, people who have children, right? You always tell people who tell their children to do their best and give 100%. And it's like, you're telling your children that, I think it's also good that you should be demonstrating that, because they can see, kids see. I think they see when their parents are working hard and they're putting in they're leading, basically lead by example. So, if you are in a relationship, you don't ask your significant other, what's the least amount of effort I can put into this relationship that you'll be satisfied with. You give your best effort towards that person. So this is something that is something that's supposed to be self-rewarding. So, like, why would you try to cheat yourself? So that's actually some of the verbiage I try to use. To me, that's a lot more, gives them a lot more to think about and chew on in their brain than just, oh, you're fat, you suck, you're terrible, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because all they're going to do is regurgitate all the negative energy and all those negative words that you said to themselves. So it's kind of it's counterproductive.
Right. So if they hear that, damn, he thought I could, he really thought I could do 10, and I didn't think I could do it. He really, like, I let him down. Then they'll feel different. They're like, dang, he believes in me. He has this belief in me, and I'm not even, I don't even have belief in myself. Like, maybe I need to really try to wake up and really try to push and see let me try to see what he sees. You give him something different to chew on. Give him something different to think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so we're gonna wrap up here, right? But I want to, because we're talking about the power of words, it's Sunday. I'm gonna leave us with the scripture.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, brother.
All right, so Proverbs 18:21 basically says, the death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. All right, so from there, basically, be careful with what you're saying, not only to others, but to yourself, because whatever you're saying and repeating to yourself or repeating to others, you're going to be and eat of what you're saying. You're going to eat those words. So if you're giving fruit into the world, giving positivity, you're giving out positive energy, telling you're going to follow in that path. Yep. But if you're always negative, mean-spirited, telling yourself what you can't do, and then you're gonna eat that. You're gonna walk that life. You're gonna walk that path of the words that you say. Yep. So Proverbs 18:21.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
All right, bro.
All right, my man.
Appreciate your great words today. I hope that we was able to get a good amount of information out there, positive information out there, and hope it's going to be well received.
Absolutely.
All right, until next week, bro.
All right, man. Be good. Have a good weekend.
Do the same.
All right.